Research tells us that looking forward to something makes life better. And one of the coolest things, one of the most fun things to look forward to is a family holiday. The thing is, family holidays are expensive. Family holidays can be very inconvenient, and yet we still want to do them. Today, a very tricky question from a mum who wants to know what she's supposed to do to get the family together on a holiday when it all costs so much. We've got 6 children, a family of 8, and now, every now and again, every couple of years, we go away with the extended family, which means that we have a couple of sons-in-law, and we also have a granddaughter. So we're taking 11 people away. It costs a bomb, which is why we don't do it very often. In today's podcast, we answer your tricky question about how to get holidays right. What are the things you need to focus on? What should you discard and ignore? And how can you give everybody something to look forward to? Stay with us. Hello, welcome to the Happy Families podcast, where you get real parenting solutions every single day. This is Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. We're Justin and Kylie Coulson. We're the parents of 6 kids, and we love answering your tricky questions, which is something that we do every Tuesday on the pod. Today, we have a tricky question that is all about family holidays, and in a cost of living crisis with interest rates going up and rents going up and budgetary disasters happening all over the place and a war in Iran and who knows what else, it's just expensive. So expensive to take a family holiday. We will hear the question in just a sec. But if you have a question that you'd like to ask us, just jump online to happyfamilies.com.au, scroll down to where it says ask a question, and let us know what it is that you want to talk about. It's a super simple system, and we'll talk about, Kylie, anything? Like, ask us anything. Pretty much anything?
Pretty much anything.
Almost anything. You can hit us up, and we're really happy to answer your questions.
Were you asking my permission to say that? Was that where you were headed?
I just wondered where the boundary really lies. Okay, let's get into today's tricky question. This is an absolutely delightful one from Marlene in Melbourne, who asked us the following.
Hi, Justin. It's Marlene from Melbourne. We are a family of 5. Trying to make memories and go on holidays is proving to be quite an expensive event. Some accommodations, we actually have to purchase 2 rooms. Trying to stay in caravan parks is much cheaper, however, is still proving to be an expensive exercise. Just wondering if you had any tips and tricks of how you did that as a family. Anything would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Bye.
So I'm going to step in here really quickly, Kylie, and just say it's expensive to have a big family. It's expensive to holiday as a family.
I was about to say, it's just, in general, it's expensive to holiday.
Yeah. Like, we'll get a quote for something if we're going to go on a trip. And the first thing that I usually say when the quote comes in, I look at you and I say,
that's what you usually say.
We're not doing this. This is ridiculous. How can they charge us this much? Let's just stay home. So you've got hotel rooms. They rarely cater for a family unless you've only got 1 or maybe 2 children. Airbnb, that can be really expensive. Plus, you're expected to tidy up after yourself when you leave, which is no fun because on holidays, the whole idea is
you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Car rental, eating out, entertainment. Eating out, honestly, like if you're going to go and buy breakfast at a cafe every day for a week and there are 5 of you, I'm sorry, but you're not getting out of it for less than maybe $120, $130 for breakfast. Like, we have a friend, and when he would take his family on a holiday, they would go to the nearest grocery store when they landed wherever they were landing, and they'd do a shop, and they literally would go into hotel rooms with bags of groceries, and they would take peanut butter sandwiches in the car with them to have them for lunch as they were doing their road trip or whatever. To me, that doesn't feel like fun. To me, that feels like doing everything that you already do at home, but now doing it in a place where you don't have any of the facilities and resources that you would have at home, which means that you're getting poorer quality. It's inconvenient. It's messy. It's just too hard. That doesn't sound like a holiday to me. That sounds like a living hell. So we've got a bunch of ideas that can be helpful here, Marlene. Kylie, you kick us off, I think.
I think the first thing that's really important to get very clear about is what is the priority? Like, what is the purpose for going on a holiday?
It's almost exactly what I wrote down. So you've got your notes, I've got mine. I wrote, what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah, because I'm going to be pretty frank, from a mum's perspective, going on holiday with your family is not a holiday. I'm just going to put it out there, okay?
Yeah.
So what is the priority? If you can be really clear on that, then you actually can make, I think, some headway with everything that's going on. For us in the early days with 6 young children, there was no way we could do a family holiday.
No.
We were going to your parents and sleeping down in the rumpus room. We were going to my parents and sleeping on the lounge room floor. We were spending time with family and struggling through it, because who wants to be in somebody else's space?
We have not compared notes, but the next thing I wrote after what are you trying to achieve was, if you stay with family, is it even a holiday?
Oh my goodness.
You're sleeping on air mattresses, or you're sleeping on a lounge, or you're sleeping on a fold-out sofa bed. Like, you kind of sit there and go, and I don't even like these people that much. I mean, I love my family, but do I really want to live with them again? It's not fun. And then it's...
And you've got all of the issues of, kind of dealing with the different ways that parenting styles, I guess, between the generations, and you're in their space.
Yep.
And you're feeling judged. Like, there's just so many factors that kind of come into that. So for us, family holidays was actually not so much about a holiday and more about creating memories and having time in with our kids.
Yeah, so let me add that the extension to that is, we found that with a young family, the kids don't really care where you go so long as there's either a beach or a pool. Like, if there's water, they're happy. Or if they can ride their bikes, play at the skate park, that's it. They're done. They're good. This is very general. There are some people who really strongly disagree with me, but my general advice is, until the kids are about 15 or 16, don't spend any significant money on a family holiday, because the kids are not going to remember it, and they don't have the stamina or the curiosity to make it exciting. So if you want to go and do Europe, or if you want to go and do a tour through Thailand or Vietnam or South America or New Zealand or the United States, just wait until they're older, because they don't care. They just want to go and swim in the pool. A story that I love to recount is when my parents took my family. I think I was the eldest child at the time. Maybe I was 12, and they took us over to America, and we were driving up from California through the Grand Canyon. What's that, in Nevada? We were driving up that way, and we were supposed to go to the Grand Canyon. It was an hour and a half from the hotel that we were staying in. And Mum said, well, we've arrived at the hotel, we've checked in, let's go over to the Grand Canyon. And we'd just done 4 or 5 or 6 hours in the car, and we all looked at Mum and said, but there's a pool here.
I didn't think you were going to tell that story. I thought you were going to tell the story about our friends who took their kids to America, and they did all of these amazing things. And when they got home, they caught the bus from
the free bus around the city, And the school teacher said, what was your best part of the holiday? And the kids were like, the free bus yesterday in the city. So the parents are going, we just spent all that money going to the US. So number one, we couldn't afford it. But number two, even if we could, what we have very much discovered is that the kids don't have the stamina or the curiosity, which means that if you want to go and have a really awesome holiday, leave the kids behind until they're about 15 or 16. Some people would argue it's 10 or 12 or 14. I think it's 15 or 16. That's when they're really open to saying, oh, let's go and do the museum, or let's go and check out the park, or let's go and do the sightseeing stuff.
And even if they're not overly interested in it, they are at an age where they can respect that we're here and we're going to do something different.
Right. Their entertainment needs are also a little bit different as well. There's just a maturity about them that you don't get when they're younger. After the break, we're going to get real about exactly the kinds of things that you can do, since our advice so far is about what not to do. No family, no big holidays, just the beach and the pool. Stay with us, it's next. We're back. Thank you so much for listening to the Happy Families podcast. If you enjoy the pod, please share it with your friends, mums in your mum's group, dads in your dad's group, whoever, and say, this is making my family happier, and I thought this was relevant for you. We'd love for you to share the pod and help other families to be happier as a result.
I know you said that we've talked about all the things not to do, but I have one other thing, and I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Stop scrolling socials and looking at everybody's amazing holidays.
Yes.
If you are a family who wants to do things with their family but does not have the means to have the $40,000, $50,000 Europe holiday, just get off socials. Don't look at it.
Because when you go camping in the backyard, it just doesn't quite feel the same as the Swiss Alps, does it?
It's so hard to have a positive attitude about a family holiday when you're you can't even there's nothing. You can't compete with that.
I don't have any socials anymore. But I compiled a list because all of these amazing holidays kept on coming up, and I'm really sad that I haven't done them all. except they're not realistic, especially living in Australia. The cost is just exorbitant, especially if you want to take the kids. So, Kylie, no big trips, we've said, until the kids are 15 or 16, and then one child at a time. That's a tradition that we've created. But if you've got a young family and you really do want to have a family holiday, what are the top ideas that we've done or that you would recommend that you've heard about that you think really, really meet the brief here?
So my first one, focus on experiences, not a time frame. So one of the very first holidays we did where we went to your parents' house but then chose not to stay with them was we hired a campsite on a horse ranch.
Yeah, so my parents live on the New South Wales Central Coast. There's a place there called Glenworth Valley. They've got like 300 horses, and they've just got this huge area that you can camp. Pretty cheap, down by a little creek. It's beautiful.
I think it was about $75 or $80. This was a handful of years ago, so I have no idea what it would cost now. But
hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, $75 or $80 for us to camp on their land. And we had actually said to the kids, there will be no horse riding. We can't afford that.
We can't afford the trail rides.
But you can definitely pat the horses and feed them and, spend time in their space. We got there and our 12-year-old at the time, she was our eldest, gave us puppy dog eyes and pled that she could have a ride. And so we made a decision that we'd stretch the budget just a little bit to get her on a horse. But we weren't sending her on her own, so I ended up going with her. And on that trail ride, one of the workers came and talked to me and she said, how much time has your daughter spent on horses? She's a natural. I said, she's had like 1 hour on a horse at a school camp. She said she should volunteer. We had no idea what volunteering is, but it meant for the rest of the week that we were there, she got up each morning, left us, and was gone from about 8 o'clock till 5, scoop and poop, brushing down horses, saddling them up, and she loved it.
In her element.
And as a result of that actually led to her volunteering on a regular basis there.
During the school holidays, which meant that we got to take the rest of the family away on cheap holidays while she went and stayed with her grandparents and looked after horses. Everyone was happy.
It was such a delightful time, and that was it. That's all we did. Use your local attractions and have a staycation.
Yep.
I know you want to go away, but create an experience that you can the whole idea is memories, right? It's not about where you are; it's about what you do.
Let me give a couple of quick examples here. If you live in Sydney or Brisbane, and you think about how much it would cost for a holiday, stay home, but go and do the bridge climb. Spend some time if you're in Sydney down at the Rocks. When we took the family to Sydney recently, we just walked up, I think it was Macquarie Street or Elizabeth Street or one of those streets from the Botanical Gardens, from the Opera House. We walked up and we came across the Hyde Park Barracks, which I've heard about 1,000 times, but there's a museum there. Never knew. I've driven past it 1,000 times in my life or more. Never knew that the Hyde Park Barracks was a museum. We took the kids in there, including the young ones, and they were like, this is amazing. They thought that the government has done an incredible job curating this museum. It's fabulous. And learning the history of Sydney was amazing. Brisbane has great history. Melbourne, there's so much to do within an hour of the CBD.
But how often do we live in a place but we actually never explore it?
That's right, because that's what the tourists do.
Think about where we are in Australia. We are like one of the biggest tourist destinations in the world. People come to us all the time because of what we have to offer.
Yep.
So utilize what's in your area. Local hikes, swimming holes, day trips with other families. Just involve other people.
Yeah.
It's about creating experiences together.
I love it.
And I think the next thing adding on to that is novelty over price tag. So creating experiences just for the sake of an experience. So when we couldn't afford going on a holiday, I would invite all of the kids' friends over and we'd do craft days or have Easter fun days. We'd make gingerbread houses together. Things where we can kind of come together. They're out of the norm. They're not the normal thing that we would do, but we bring other people in and we have so much fun doing it. Have a barbecue in the backyard. Chanel and Jared, our eldest, and her husband, they live in a street every Friday night. Families come out of the woodwork. They've had, it's let your hair out kind of time. They bring their meal, have a potluck in the middle of the street. The kids run riot.
Yeah.
The adults get to have a chat because everyone's taking care of everyone.
So 2 things on this. Relationships make holidays better. And if you can't afford a holiday, that staycation, but getting people involved in the activities that you've planned. When we lived in Wollongong, we did this a lot. This was when our family was probably the poorest because we were in the middle of me being a student, and I'd been a student for 8.5 years, and we had our whole family relying on. Well, there were no kids with jobs or anything like that. Like it was you and I trying to pull it all together, and we would just plan these things, take some friends along. The kids were in their element, and it felt like we really were on holidays for that day or for that weekend or for that 4 or 5 days where we had allocated. We actually have an itinerary like we're on holidays. But in Wollongong, we were going down to Kiama, to the Blowhole. We were going up to Fitzroy Falls and Robertson, the Southern Highlands. I think we went into Sydney. We went to the Blue Mountains one day with some friends. We went and explored the Royal National Park to walk out to Little Marley Beach. All of these things literally are no cost or very low cost. And the kids, because they're with their friends and because we're just doing this activity, it really did feel like a holiday literally in our backyard.
One year we actually put our tent up inside our living room.
We did.
And the kids had a camp out there.
Yeah.
Use your backyard. Invite other families to use your backyard.
Yeah.
We've got friends and they literally, over the long weekend, they had 2 or 3 families come and literally just camp on their backyard. And then the kids get to have all of those experiences without the price tag. One year, one of our kids actually was learning about carbon footprints, and we had big conversations in our home about what that looked like and how we could kind of just be more aware and conscious of how we utilize the resources that are available to us. And so we decided to literally shut down the electricity for the weekend. So we brought out the candles, kids had torches, we put the campfire out, we cooked on the barbecue or the open fire without any electricity. And that was actually a really fun
It was genuinely
weekend.
memorable.
And the only other thing I'd probably highlight, if you've got older kids and you're working towards a family holiday, maybe you don't go on a family holiday every year.
Yep.
Maybe you say to them, we really want to go to Bali, for instance. It's going to cost us this much. What are some of the things as a family we're willing to sacrifice to actually put money into the kitty? And so we've done that with the kids. And when the whole family's working together, all of a sudden the kids go, oh, I really want that.
Yep.
I'm going to forego doing X, Y, and Z, or I'm not going to get that treat this week.
Or I'm going to go and wash the neighbours' cars and mow the neighbours' lawns and earn some money, or I'll contribute my pocket money or whatever it is.
And I just think that, like, it's about family, right?
Yeah.
It's about time together. It's about creating memories. If that's the priority, then don't focus so much on what a traditional holiday looks like. Focus on the experiences that will create those memories.
My
for
favourite
you.
thing that you said is turn off social media. Stop looking at everyone else's holidays because it's just not real. You're seeing like...
Well, it is, but...
No, but
they're not in.
It's only real for the top 1%.
Yeah, that's right.
Or the people who aren't paying for it because they're influencers and they've been able to wangle it for free. It's not real for everybody else. Oh, and also just think outside the box. Like, it doesn't have to, you just said it, Kylie, it doesn't have to be a traditional holiday. There's so many different ways that you can do this. All right, we need to wrap it up. Thank you so much for your question, Marlene. If you have a tricky question for us, let us know via the super simple system at happyfamilies.com.au, or just send us a voice note and ask us pretty much almost anything, as Kylie indicated at the top of the pod. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Nim Hammonds provides our admin and other support. Tomorrow, I can't wait to share this interview with you. I'm so excited. Ant Williams talking about his brand new book, Let It Be Hard. This is a conversation about resilience that I think you're going to love. And if you'd like more info to make your family happier, visit happyfamilies.com.au.